Women don't want to be with a man who's in his 50s and broke.
First thing we see is your picture. It's the very first thing. If that is not a good thing, we're not going to say yes.
You can literally date anyone from the age of 20 to the age of 60. So yeah, we're in luck.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and on today's episode we are going to be taking a look at a video from Insolent Audits titled "Why Women in Their 40s Dating Say That Men Are Impossible." And you know, this is a sentiment that's echoed by a lot of different women of all ages, but in particular we have here women over 40 who are struggling to date. They are struggling to find a man, and we're going to be kicking off with this woman right here who's giving advice to guys who are dating in their 50s, because obviously men are the problem. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and if you guys are new to the channel, also don't forget to subscribe, and also check out Insolent Audits, who put together today's cringe for us to take a look at. Let's take a listen.
If you're dating in your 50s, you definitely want to make sure that you do have your job and your finances in order and on track, because women don't want to be with a man who's in his 50s and broke or in debt or who doesn't have a job. Libido. Your testosterone has or will be declining. It steadily declines once you get past your mid-20s, and when that declines, you go into the cuddle phase of your intimate life. Dependence and independence. Does she have dependence? Do you have dependence? And how much independence do you get because of that, if that's really a deal breaker for her? So,
gee, the number one thing women in their 50s are looking for in men, according to this Coin, is money situations. Wow, can any of my male viewers say they are shocked and shaken about that one? Here's the thing, ladies, and this is not meant in a negative manner. Most men in their 50s who are single have been burned pretty bad by family court. They are very protective of their money, and no matter what most single women in their 50s think, these men have little intention to give them full access to their finances. Let's be real. After getting half their finances ripped from them, they aren't thinking, wow, how awesome it's gonna be going through all this again in their 50s. But hey, teach their own.
Damn, skip me.
Moving on.
I wonder how much money this woman is going to be bringing to the relationship. Notice how it's all, here's what men have to bring for me. Men have to bring money. They have to protect me. They have to provide for me. They have to do X, Y, Z. Usually there's a really long list of things that men have to do. I assume that this woman just hasn't completed her list. This seems like only an excerpt. But yeah, guys, you know, I wonder what financial contributions women are expected to make. Oh, wait a minute. Absolutely none, because men don't care about your finances. A lot of these women are just so incredibly entitled, and they feel as though it's a great offense, right, when men don't actually want to give them money. Astounding stuff.
One, first thing we see is your picture. It's the very first thing. If that is not a good thing, we're not going to say yes. We're going to say, oh no. We don't want to see a picture of you with any other woman.
Why is this woman even talking about the presentation of other people when, and I mean this, I don't mean to like straight up just roast this woman, but her body fat percentage is incredibly high. Okay, so why, we're not even in a position to be talking about the presentation of other people. I never understand this. It's like, yeah, let's jump on the internet. Let's talk about the standards that we hold other people to. Okay, fine, if you want to do that. But you don't even hold yourself to these standards anyway. Oh, a man has to present himself better. A man has to look this way. Okay, but do you present yourself well? Well, no. So why are we even talking about it in the first place?
We don't want to see a picture of you with any other woman. It needs to be just you. Group pictures? How are we to know which one is you? Then, pictures of your dogs and cats, they're adorable. But that's not what I'm looking for on a dating site. I want to see a picture of you. Then, putting a picture of your kid, it's kind of creepy. We don't want to date your kid. Put a picture of yourself.
I actually agree with this woman on the kid point here, by the way. People who post their children to social media, I personally think it's really weird. I don't think that kids have any place on social media. I think it's incredibly weird. I also think it's really weird that, you know, you have 50-year-old women who are given access to TikTok as well. But people put all sorts of nonsense on the internet. So I actually never thought I would agree with this particular woman, but, you know, I do agree with her in that capacity, that people who are putting their children online, really damn weird. I will say this, though, I have seen a lot more women do this than men. You know, they just have like their timelines or feeds or whatever, full of their kids and stuff like this. I don't know. I personally think it's not really a safe thing to do for the child. But anyway.
Meet your kid. Put a picture of yourself. Then your high school picture? No. You peaked in high school. We're not going to talk to you anymore. Put a recent picture that's decent and of you, and only you.
Guys on dating sites, if your picture doesn't look good, then women like this are not going to say yes. You have been warned. Yeah, you guys have got to step your game up on the presentation. I mean, she said your adorable dogs and cats are not what she is looking for. She knows exactly what she is looking for, and that is you and only you. Now, this is the part where I ask, if she realizes that her SMV isn't really, I'm gonna say not high, as in she is no supermodel to be throwing around any demands or any type of advice. Look, this is the way this gorilla sees things. If the bulk of the men that hit her up on dating apps have slapped together, half effort at best type profiles, well, the pattern would suggest those are more than likely the men on her level. Let's be honest. I can almost guarantee that for that section alone, there are going to be comments on this video saying the guy she wants needs to put in pics of him eating at an all-you-can-eat buffet, or holding up a full bucket of fried chicken, or him getting served a half dozen stacked pancakes at a local flapjack house. Moving on.
If you're a woman over 40 and you're just getting back into the dating scene, this is the #1 secret to finding the perfect partner for you. When you're single and ready for a new relationship, it's only natural to daydream about what your perfect mate might be like. You might imagine what they look like, what they sound like, what their hobbies are, what it might be like to travel together. This natural instinct to daydream about a future love can easily be transformed into one of the most powerful techniques for attracting your perfect mate. This technique is called envisioning, and it's really just daydreaming while holding a specific intention in mind. The intention usually takes form as a question. Instead of letting your mind wander, you focus on the question. You allow your mind to mull over the question without being attached to the answers that surface. But here's the trick to making this a truly powerful attraction technique. Don't ask the question about your future mate. Ask the question about your future self. We rarely envision ourselves in our future relationships. We assume that we'll be the same as we are now.
How about instead of daydreaming about your perfect Prince Charming and the future castle he is going to carry you off to, you as a middle-aged, decades plus post-wall smashing queen should set your feet in the harsh pavement of reality. Look in a mirror and realize your actual SMV, which will allow you to have a realistic measure of the type of man you can attract for a LTR. Oh, was that too harsh of a suggestion this block-headed gorilla just blurted out? Well, ladies, for as much shock and offense you may have gotten from that statement, it will shock you even further when you find out this is basically what men are told from day one of dating. The difference is the bulk of men accept it and work with what they have, while the bulk of women will call this insulting as they complain they can't find a good man and deserve better for reasons.
It's actually
Yeah, see, I totally agree with insolent audits here. And also, women don't want to change this because they would rather live in delusion land, right? Where it's more fun. We don't have to face reality. We don't actually have to accept the consequences of our actions or lack thereof, right? We can just sit there, we can pretend like everything's fine. And as long as I feel okay, then that means that everything is actually okay. Men, on the other hand, guys, if you're a dude and you choose to live in delusion about the way things work or don't work, you're going to get your backside kicked very quickly. You're going to get rejected. You're going to get treated like garbage, or, you know, if it's like financial related, nobody's going to be there to look after you financially. If you don't take care of your, your mental health and things like this, nobody's going to do it for you. Like, a lot of guys don't have a shoulder to cry on. They don't have people to lend them finances. They don't have the ability to actually date if they don't have anything, right? Men start at zero. Okay, a lot of these women, it's like the equivalent of like a millionaire complaining about the price of a cup of coffee. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, men are expected to live in reality from a very early age. I think dudes are a lot more used to it, right? If you say to a guy, if I go up to a guy, like one of my friends, and I give him some criticism, right? Maybe about his, I don't know, his form at the gym. I say, look, dude, like, I don't know what you're doing. This looks garbage. Like, what are we doing here? He's going to be like, oh, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe he'll call me garbage back. Who knows? But the criticism will be taken at least, or, you know, tried to be understood before it gets thrown back if it's stupid, right? But a lot of these women, you can't criticize them on anything because you're a bad person, because you're awful, because you're evil. And then they wonder why they get nowhere. They wonder why they're single. They wonder why they have no friends, or the friends that they do have don't actually care about them. It's just surface level nonsense. And then they end up in situations like this where they make nonsensical ramble babble crap on TikTok that I can barely pay attention to.
If you look back at yourself a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, are you the same? The truth is you're changing all the time.
Yeah, see, who the hell cares? Like, you just lose me when you start talking about this nonsense. Let's skip forward ahead in the video. I don't know if I can tolerate this. We'll skip to the next woman here. What on earth is this? Okay, so dating in your 40s. What have we got? Before we even jump into the video, let's just analyze this. We've got fake lips here. We've got makeup. We've got a filter on top of the makeup. We've got a girl who is dating in her 40s, and we've already got, I'm assuming she's yelling here. I don't particularly know. Buckle in, guys. Let's take a listen.
Complaining that they...
Moving on.
If you're a woman in your 40s and complaining that dating pool is too small, let me remind you that there is no other age that give you that many opportunities in a dating pool than your beautiful 40s. You can literally date anyone from the age of 20 to the age of 60. So yeah, we're in luck, sis.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about when I say delusion land, okay? These women just live in delusion. Number one, women in their 40s, you know, a lot of girls would actually prefer to date an older guy, typically because he has more experience, resources, etc. But, you know, oh, dating in your 40s, it's the absolute best. Really? Why is it that when I go to TikTok, I can find a series of videos of women just crying because no guy wants them in their 40s, or dating isn't the same now as when they were in their 20s, or videos about how it's so creepy that men date younger women even though when those women were younger they were dating the older guys. Like, it's all just an absolute cope here. Oh, I'm strong and independent, you know, things are a lot easier now, I'm happy being single, I can date absolutely everybody. Yeah, this video just reeks of happiness.
Literally date anyone from the age of 20 to the age of 60. So yeah, we're in luck, sis. But let's leave aside those in their 60s for a while and focus on dating younger guys. Is it strange to go for a drink with a 25 years old guy?
Yeah, you know what? Dare I say, it's creepy, it's predatory. What else do women use in their language, right? It's creepy, it's predatory. Oh, he's just a child, he doesn't know any better. You know, all of this stuff. I find it funny, again, guys, when a man dates a younger woman, it's like this huge problem and he's manipulating her and everything. But when women do it, it's totally fine. It's acceptable and nothing to see here. Never mind the fact, by the way, that when these women were 25, they were probably dating dudes in their 30s, maybe even 40, right? So, like, it's just hilarious how the standard goes one way or the other. They want the part that benefits them, but they don't want the part that doesn't benefit them, you see?
Younger guys. Is it strange to go for a drink with a 25 years old guy? It tease at first, but then you realize how fun and refreshing it can be. So let me tell you some of the benefits of dating younger guys. They are more fun to be around, and they are full of energy in every sense of the word, okay? They're in for all kinds of activities. They don't have pain in their hip or high blood pressure. They can go for a hike or dance all night without you worrying of not having a first aid course done, okay? Younger guys mostly don't have heavy problems like ex-wives, kids, a company that's losing clients, or something similar. Therefore, their minds are relaxed and carefree.
There's no other age that gives women more opportunities in the dating pool than 40? What is this tat sleeve?
That was my reaction as well. Oh, jeez. I swear to God, these women will just tell each other absolutely anything as long as, you know, it just makes them feel good inside. It doesn't actually have to be true.
What is this tat sleeve decades post-war woman smoking? Because it clearly has jacked up reality for her. Sister, the age range where a woman gets the best picks are in her first 5 years of womanhood, between 18 and 23. Men don't bend the knee to a post-war woman's copium demands. Yes, a woman in her youngest adult dating age range can literally date anyone between 20 and 60 because her S&B is at its highest. Not when the post-war grumpy squad want to redefine attraction for men with the advent of video sharing platforms. Then this gem of a copium pusher starts to say the wonders of dating younger men. Okay, apart from the advantages or perks your smashed roast beef would get from a younger jackhammer taking a go at it, what fantasy is she going to spin for the long-term benefits? Don't get me wrong, as I completely get it that it's consenting adults, but let's not act like a middle-aged woman's desire is based on short-term fun. They want a championship ring with all the retirement benefits that come with it. Also, these younger men aren't thinking about anything past target practice and a good time. Look, I can understand the dopium and confidence boost a woman in her 40s gets from being with younger men. They can try to justify having a high SMV by the amount of hot dogs that she can get into her hot dog buns. Unfortunately, female SMV metrics are not the same as a man's SMV metric. Getting a lot of something that is easy to get doesn't raise a thing for you ladies. Getting a HVM to put a ring on it does though.
And the cherry on the top is that what one of my friends says, they smell differently, and this is so true. The best part of dating younger guys is that most of them love being around older women because we are too busy to bother them with texting, calling, some kind of expectations, and we're full of unexploited energy, which combined with our experience look like heaven to them.
Yeah, so translation, they don't have to commit to you or really do anything. Absolutely genius here. Guys, I swear, videos like this, honestly, I personally just find them incredibly creepy. I don't know why 40-year-old and 50-year-old women even have TikTok in the first place. I'm pretty sure all of these videos are from TikTok. Either they're from TikTok or Instagram Reels. But it's just amazing to me, and I've said this before, that people put out so much details of their personal lives just all over the internet. Like, oh, here are the people that I prefer to date. This is what, you know, my dating history likes. I have kids, blah, blah, blah. All, like, it's just absolutely ridiculous to me. Okay. And, you know, this woman, if she wants to date younger guys and she's happy not getting commitment from them, I mean, that's totally fine. Personally, I don't need to hear about it. But the fact that she says that women in their 40s actually have the best time dating, I'm incredibly skeptical about that. Incredibly skeptical. I think that as a woman, you're probably going to have a lot easier of a time dating when you're younger, maybe around 20, 23. Like the low 20s are probably where you're going to have the easiest time. I think that women who say that things are so much better when they're 40 or they're dating in their 50s because they know their standards now are just totally full of it. And honestly, I just think they're lying to other women, to be honest with you.
women because we are too busy to bother them with texting, calling, some kind of expectations, and we're full of unexploited energy which combined with our experience look like heaven to them. We can teach them, guide them, support them very differently than anyone else in their surroundings. So we're both winners in this game. Now, moralists would say that it is wrong, but I couldn't care less about opinions of others, which is another advantage of being a woman in my 40s, and that is not giving a okay? However, there are two tricky things about dating younger guys. One is knowing when to let them go, because we have to be conscious that 20 years younger guys are not there to stay. And the second one, always have condoms on hand, because they can go all the time. And two, because they can go all the time and you can never know who they might be poking before they came to you, right? So in short, don't limit yourself. Explore fully the dating scene, including those.
She's not wrong on the reasons younger men want to unload on an older broad. That is something they will look for. I mean, a man in his early to mid 20s has an older broad keeping him drained, not bugging him constantly and hitting him up for only fun in and out of the sheets is a great deal. Even this girl will admit that the bulk of younger men will want to sign up for that. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Now, this lady has admitted she doesn't keep younger men around for the long term, and she more than likely rosters them. Hey, more power to her, as she is clear she only wants to be poked by the younger writers. i.e., she detaches her fifis and is only here to pleasure the new writer for the short term. On the flip side of this, most younger men don't want to commit to these types of broads and will eventually want a younger woman to start a family with. It's just biology. Now comes the hard question that women like this usually don't ask themselves, and that is, after doing a hard carousel ride with younger men in her 40s, will the man she would want to marry be turned off with the extra 50,000 miles of body count she just stacked on? It may shock you, ladies, but the higher value men in their 40s and 50s know that older attractive women are rarely celibate. They know you are racking up miles. It's not that hard to see.
I don't even know why a lot of these older men who are successful and who have their lives together and who have been hitting the gym and all of this sort of stuff, I don't even understand why these men would want to commit to a woman like this, or just why they would want to marry in general if they haven't been married already. You see, I think that the older a man gets and the more experience he has, the more he kind of understands the world, the less likely you're going to be able to get commitment from him, especially if you exhibit as many red flags as this woman does right here. Like, this woman is honestly clinically insane. Okay, so I don't even know why dudes would be dating women like this, or this one right here. Okay, I'll be honest, I completely... It's so easy for me to tune out when women start talking like this, because I simply do not care. Not only do I not care, it makes absolutely no sense typically what they're saying. Okay, the reason why it's so much harder for women to date in their 40s is because, even if they're lying about it, by the way, is because men don't want to date women in their 40s. We're not interested. Men would much prefer to date younger women who are not nearly as much of a headache, who haven't been with a whole bunch of different dudes, and that's the end of the story there. Now, you'll have a lot of women say, well, men are creepy for doing this, and men are awful people. But at the end of the day, men have their preferences, and you have yours too. You just failed to capitalize on yours. So let's continue with the rest of the video.
Most younger men don't want to commit to these types of broads and will eventually want a younger woman to start a family with. It's just biology. Now comes the hard question that women like this usually don't ask themselves, and that is, after doing a hard carousel ride with younger men in her 40s, will the man she would want to marry be turned off with the extra 50,000 miles of body count she just stacked on? It may shock you, ladies, but the higher value men in their 40s and 50s know that older attractive women are rarely celibate. They know you are racking up miles. It's not that hard to see some of it with social media these days. So if at 40 you decide decide to be a fluid receptacle for men in their 20s, it's just fair for the man in his 40s to treat you the same way and not give you the championship wedding ring. In fact, by that point, your hands will maybe too sticky for the ring to go on.
Squeeze me? Oh, no, you dick.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit.
Yeah, see, that's exactly true. Is why would a guy come along and have a relationship with you, have a marriage with you, after he's seen you post all of this stuff to the internet? Why would he go, wow, she's such a great option. I can't wait to have kids with her. I can't wait to, you know, have a relationship with this woman. Dudes are going to look at this. Here's what's going to happen, okay? Men are going to look at this video, or they're going to look at your social media. They're going to look at your accounts, and they're going to go, oh, okay, this woman is for fun only. She is not commitment worthy. She is not marriage worthy. She is not anything worthy outside of fun. And a lot of guys won't even use you for fun, to be honest. But, you know, guys are going to look at you and they're going to put you into the bucket of, I'm not going to have a relationship with her, because why should a man invest in you when previous men didn't have to invest anything at all? So some 20-year-old dude didn't have to invest anything. You just went and had fun with a whole bunch of them. But some dude in his 40s and 50s who's successful, or some other guy, is going to have to put in the effort and actually take you seriously? I don't think so. A lot of these women, they don't even think through what they're saying. I swear to you, they just sit there, they say whatever they think makes them, you know, feel happy in the moment, and then they post it online to social media, and everybody kind of looks at it like, what the hell are you doing? But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.